Keywords and cover letters. Your English job search guide. Introduction. Imagine getting your dream job in a country where people speak English, or working for a big company that uses English. You picture yourself doing well, using your special talents, and building a great career. But then the real world appears. It's very hard to find a job. Getting noticed can feel like trying to find one star in a sky full of stars. You have the skills, you have the experience, but how do you make your application stand out when so many others want the same chance? What is the secret to opening those doors? The answer is often not just about what you know, but exactly how you show it. Many skilled people face a hidden wall that stops them from reaching their career dreams. This wall is not because they can't do the job. It's because they don't fully understand the specific language and what people expect in English-speaking workplaces. People who hire are busy. They often look at many applications and use special ways to quickly find the best people. If your resume and cover letter don't use their language, they might be missed, even if you are very good. You might send out many applications and wonder why you don't get interviews. This is when you see that you need a special skill. This book will help you break down that hidden wall. Our main idea is simple but strong. To do well in job markets that use English, you must learn the right way to write resumes and cover letters for jobs. This means using important words that catch the eyes of people who hire. This is not just about perfect spelling and grammar. It's about knowing what employers in English-speaking places are looking for. It means writing your papers so they are clear, direct, and show what you have done. It's about using words that hiring people understand and like. Learning this, which we call professional application writing, is your way to show your skills and experience so people quickly see your value. One of the most important parts of this professional writing is using special words on purpose. Think of these words as a secret ingredient, a magic key that opens your application. People who hire, and the computer programs they use, often look for specific words and phrases that match the job description. If your application doesn't have these important words, it might never be seen by a person. For example, if a job ad says they need someone with Java, agile methods, and problem-solving skills, putting these exact words in your resume and cover letter tells the hiring person right away that you are a good fit. It shows you paid attention and know what the job needs. We will show you how to find these important words and use them in your application in a way that sounds natural. In this book, we will guide you through the important steps of professional application writing. You will learn how to create resumes that show your successes, not just your tasks. You will learn how to write cover letters that make a good first impression. Most importantly, you will learn how to find and use important words so your application is seen by both computers and people. We want to give you the tools and the confidence to show yourself professionally and stand out from others. We promise to help you change your job search from something frustrating to a path to success. Are you ready to use your full ability and take a big step toward your dream job? Let's start this journey together. 1. Writing resumes in English. Making a resume for a job in a country where people speak English can feel like learning a new language, even if you already speak English. It's not just about listing your old jobs. It's about showing yourself in a way that people who hire you in computer systems can understand and like. Think of your resume as your first handshake, your first hello to someone who might hire you. In places like the United States, the United Kingdom, Canada, and Australia, there are certain things people expect for this. First, hello. This means writing your job application in a professional way so you can stand out. What makes a resume for English-speaking countries different? Often, it's about being clear and focused. Some countries might have resumes that are very long or include personal things like photos. But resumes for English-speaking countries are usually only 1 or 2 pages long. People who hire look at resumes very quickly, sometimes in just a few seconds. This means your most important information needs to be easy to find and understand right away. They look for things to be clear, for the layout to be neat, and most importantly, for proof that you can do the job. This is where the idea of a scannable resume comes in. It's made so that both people and the computer programs many companies use can easily read and understand your information. These computer programs are often the first ones to look at your resume, so making your resume easy for them to read is a very important part of writing your job application professionally. Now, let's talk about the most important part of making your English resume work: keywords. Imagine a job description is like a treasure map. The keywords are the landmarks and clues that tell you exactly where the treasure is. In job searching, keywords are the specific words and phrases that describe the skills, what you are qualified for, your experience, and the tools needed for a certain job. These are the words that people who hire use when they look for people, and they are also the words that the computer programs search for. If your resume doesn't have these keywords, it might be missed, even if you are a perfect fit for the job. So, how do you find these important keywords? The best place to look is the job description itself. Read it carefully and highlight words that describe what you will do, the skills you need, the computer programs you need to know, and any special qualifications. For example, if a job for someone in marketing talks about managing social media, creating content, SEO, and Google Analytics, then these are your keywords. You should try to use these exact words or very similar ones in your resume, especially in the parts where you talk about your past jobs and your skills. It's like speaking the language of the employer. You are showing them you understand what they are looking for. Using these keywords helps your resume get past the computer programs and into the hands of a person who can then see how good you are. Now let's talk about how to put your resume together so it's clear and makes a good impression. Most resumes for English-speaking countries follow a normal, easy-to-understand order. First, your contact information. This is simple: your full name, phone number, a professional email address, and often a link to your LinkedIn profile. Make sure this is at the very top and easy to see. Next, you might have a summary or an objective. A summary is usually for people who have some work experience. It's a short paragraph, about 3 to 4 sentences, that highlights your main skills, your experience, and what you can do for the company. An objective is more for people who are just starting their careers or changing to a new type of job. And it says what kind of job you are looking for. For what we are doing, focusing on a strong summary that uses keywords is usually better. For example, instead of saying looking for a challenging job, you might write, a marketing person who is very motivated and has 5 years of experience in managing social media and creating content. I want to use my skills in SEO and Google Analytics to get more people interested in company name. See how the keywords are used naturally. The work experience section is where you talk about your past jobs. For each job, you will list the company name, your job title, the dates you worked there, and then bullet points that describe what you did and, most importantly, what you achieved. This is where the STAR method can be very helpful. STAR stands for situation. Briefly say what the situation was or what the problem was. Task. Explain what you needed to do. Action. Tell the steps you took. Result. Say what you achieved, using numbers if possible. For example, instead of just writing managed social media accounts, you could use the STAR method to say, managed social media accounts for a new product launch situation. My job was to make more people know about the brand and get more people to visit the website task. I created and used a new plan for content, using ads that were aimed at the right people and posts that were interesting on Instagram and Facebook action. This led to 30% more followers and a 20% increase in website visits in 3 months result. Notice how this is much stronger. It shows what you did and the good outcome. Using numbers, percentages, or amounts of money to show your results makes your achievements real and impressive. This is a key part of writing your job application professionally that truly shows your value. The education section lists your degrees, the schools you went to, and the dates you finished. If you have important certificates or courses, you can put them here or in a separate section called certifications or professional development. Finally, the skills section is a great place to list your technical skills like knowing how to use certain computer programs or programming languages, and your personal skills like talking well with others, working in a team, or solving problems. This is another good place to put those keywords you found in the job description. You can often divide this into groups like technical skills, language skills, or software skills to make it even clearer. One of the most important things about writing a resume that works for jobs in English-speaking countries is changing it for each job you apply for. A common mistake is to make one resume and send it for every job. This is a sure way to be missed. Each job description is different, and so should your resume be. You need to change the words and, most importantly, the keywords in your resume to match what each job is asking for. Think about it. If one job asks for managing projects and agile methods, while another job talks more about planning, events and managing budgets, your resume needs to show those specific words and experiences. By carefully reading each job posting and then changing your resume to highlight the most important skills and experiences, you are showing the employer that you have taken the time to understand what they need and that you are a good match. This process of changing your resume is not just about adding words. It's about showing your qualifications in the best possible way for that specific chance. It greatly increases your chances of getting past the first check, whether by a computer or a person, and makes a strong first impression. Let's think about Sarah. Sarah was a very good graphic designer, but she was having trouble finding a new job in London. She had a good resume, but it was very general. She applied for about 20 jobs and only heard back from 2, and neither of them led to a job offer. She was upset, so she decided to change her plan. She found a job posting for a senior graphic designer at a technology company. The description used a lot of keywords like UI/UX design, wireframing, prototyping, Adobe Creative Suite, and working with development teams. Sarah's old resume talked about her design skills, but didn't use these specific words. She decided to rewrite her resume. In her summary, she changed experienced graphic designer to senior graphic designer with 7 years of experience who is good at UI/UX design and making digital products. In her work experience, for a project where she redesigned a website, she didn't just say redesigned company website. Instead, she used the STAR method and included keywords, led the UI/UX redesign of the company's online store situation. My job was to make it easier for users and get more sales task. I talked to users, made wireframes and prototypes using Adobe XD and Figma, and worked closely with the development team to put the new design in place action. This led to a 25% increase in online sales and a 15% drop in people leaving the site quickly result. In her skills section, she made a clear technical skills part and listed UI/UX design, wireframing, prototyping, Adobe Creative Suite, Photoshop, Illustrator, XD, Figma, Sketch, basic HTML CSS. She did this for every job she applied for, always going back to the job description and making sure her resume spoke directly to what it asked for. The change was amazing. In a few weeks, she started getting invitations for interviews. One person who hired her specifically said that her resume clearly showed she understood their need for UI/UX skills. Sarah got a great new job, all because she learned to speak the language of keywords and show her professional application writing skills in a way that employers in English-speaking countries understood and valued. Now that you know how to create a strong resume with important keywords that speaks the language of employers in English-speaking countries, the next important step is to write a good cover letter that goes with your resume and shows even more why you were a good fit for the job. This personal introduction is your chance to connect with the person who hires you on a deeper level. So let's learn how to write one well. 2. Crafting cover letters. Your cover letter is your chance to talk directly to the person who might hire you. Think of it like a friendly handshake, a warm hello that shows more than just what's on your resume. Your resume lists your skills and what you've done. Your cover letter explains why those skills are good for this specific job. It's where you show who you are, that you're really interested, and how you can help the company do well. It's not just about saying what you can do, it's about showing them what you will do for them. Many people make a mistake. They send the same cover letter for every job. They might change the company name, but the rest is the same. This is a big chance missed. People who hire can easily see a letter that's not made for them. It tells them you haven't really thought about what they need or why you'd be good for their team. That's why it's so important to make your cover letter fit each job. It's not just a good idea, it's a must-do when you apply for jobs. So, how do you make a cover letter fit? It starts with learning. Before you write anything, take time to really know the company. What do they do? What do they want to achieve? What is their company like? Look at their website, their social media, and any recent news. Then look closely at the job description. What will you do most of the time? What skills do they want? What problems do they need this person to fix? When you know these things, you can start to link your own experiences and skills to what they need. You can see how what you can do can solve their problems. This is where important words become your best friends. Remember those key words from the job description? They are your guide. When you write your cover letter, use these words naturally in your sentences. Don't just list them. Instead, use them to explain how what you've done matches what they need. For example, if the job description says managing projects and leading teams, you can talk about a time you manage a project well, leading a team to get a great result. This shows you understand what the job is about and that what you've done fits what they want. It also helps computer systems, called applicant tracking systems ATS, that many companies use to read applications. If the right words are there, a person is more likely to see your application. More than just matching words, your cover letter needs to show what good things you can do. Instead of saying, I have worked with customers, try saying, in my last job, I made customers happier by 15%. By starting a new way to get their feedback. This is much stronger because it's specific and shows a good result. Things you can measure with numbers are very powerful. They prove you can get results. Think about what you've done that made a real difference. Did you save time? Save money? Get more sales? Make things work better? These are the things that get noticed. It's also important to show you're excited. Why this company? Why this job? People who hire want to hire people who are happy about the chance. If you can mention something specific about the company that interests you, maybe a recent project, what they believe in, or how they help their industry, it shows you've done your research and are truly keen. This personal touch makes a big difference and helps you stand out from those who just want any job. Now, let's talk about how to put it together. A cover letter that is well organized is easy to read and understand. It usually has three main parts: a beginning, the middle, and an end. Your beginning should be strong and get straight to the point. Start by saying which job you are applying for and where you saw the ad. Then, right away, add a sentence or two that shows your most important skill or says how much you want the job and why you are a good fit. For example, you could say, I am writing to show my strong interest in the job titled job I saw on platform. With my proven ability to mention a key skill or success that fits the job, I am sure I can help your team a lot. This immediately tells them who you are and why they should keep reading. The middle paragraphs are where you explain your skills more and show how you meet the job's needs. This is where you answer important questions. First, think about the problem this job is meant to solve for the company. For example, if the job is for a marketing helper, the problem might be that the marketing team has too much to do and needs help to run campaigns well. Then, you can explain how your skills and what you've done directly fix that problem. You might write, I understand that the company name marketing team needs someone to help run campaigns better and manage social media posts. In my last job at previous company, I was in charge of mention something you did, like scheduling social media posts on different sites, and I successfully mention a success, like getting more people to interact by 20% in 6 months. My experience and mention another skill, like creating content, would help me quickly contribute to your new plans. For the next important question, focus on those keywords. Find the 2-3 most important words or phrases from the job description. Let's say the job for a software developer uses agile methods, back-end work, and solving problems a lot. You would then use these words in your story. You could write, my background in back-end work, especially with mention a specific tool like Python or Java, fits perfectly with the technical needs in the job description. I have a lot of experience working with agile methods, joining daily meetings and reviews to make sure projects are done well. I enjoy solving difficult technical problems, and my skill in solving problems has always led to new and good answers in my past work. By using these words naturally, you show you've read the job description carefully and have the specific skills they want. You might use 1 or 2 middle paragraphs to talk about different ways you are a good fit. For example, one paragraph could focus on your technical skills and what you've done, while another could highlight your people skills like working well with others, talking clearly, or being able to change. Always connect these back to what the job needs and what the company wants. Finally, your end should sum up your interest and say again why you are a good fit. Thank the reader for their time and for thinking about you. Clearly say what you want next, that you are excited for an interview. You can say something like, I am very excited about the chance to join company name and believe my skills and passion for mention the area or industry would make me a valuable part of your team. Thank you for looking at my application. I look forward to the chance to talk more about my skills in an interview. When you write your cover letter, keep a friendly but professional tone. Don't use slang, overly casual words, or say bad things. Be sure of yourself, but not proud. Imagine you are having a polite and professional chat with someone you respect. This balance is key to writing job applications like a pro. Let me tell you about Sarah. Sarah was a talented graphic designer, but she wasn't getting interviews. She had a good resume, but her cover letters were always the same. She'd write, I am applying for the graphic designer job. I know Photoshop and Illustrator and I work hard. She sent these to many companies, and mostly she heard nothing back. It made her feel bad. She started to wonder if she was good enough. One day she decided to try something different. She found a job for a graphic designer at a small company that made reusable water bottles and cared about The environment. The job description said they needed someone to help create interesting social media posts and design marketing materials that showed the company's care for the planet. Sarah loved what this company stood for. She started by learning about them. She looked at their website and saw they used a lot of nature pictures and colors from the earth. She read their About Us page and learned they really wanted to reduce plastic waste. Then she looked at the job description again. Words like social media interest, keeping the brand the same, talking about the environment, and telling stories with pictures stood out to her. For her cover letter, Sarah started differently. She wrote, "I am writing with great excitement to apply for the graphic designer job at Eco Bottle Company as I saw advertised on job board. As someone who cares deeply about the environment and is skilled at telling stories with pictures, I have long admired Eco Bottle Company's effort to reduce plastic waste, and I am thrilled by the chance to use my design skills to help your mission." In the middle of her letter, she didn't just say she knew Photoshop. She explained how she would use it for them. She wrote, "I understand that Eco Bottle Company is looking for a designer to make its social media better and create strong marketing materials that show your care for the environment. In my last job at previous design studio, I made a series of social media pictures for a client that focused on clothing made fairly, which led to 30% more people interacting and 15% more visits to their website. My experience in making pictures that people who care about the environment like, along with my good sense of keeping the brand the same, would let me clearly share Eco Bottle Company's special message and bring in new customers." She also mentioned she could make designs that looked like nature and used earthy colors, using words she saw on their website. She made sure to use phrases like telling stories with pictures and talking about the environment that were in the job description. She finished by saying, "I am eager to bring my creativity and commitment to Eco Bottle Company and am sure that my skills in telling stories with pictures and my passion for your cause make me a perfect fit. Thank you for your time and for considering me. I have attached my resume for you to look at and would love the chance to talk about how I can help Eco Bottle Company keep growing its positive impact." The difference was amazing. Sarah got an interview almost right away. The hiring manager said her cover letter made her stand out because it showed she truly understood their company and what they cared about. Sarah got the job, and she realized that taking the time to write a thoughtful, fitting cover letter was one of the most important steps in looking for a job. It wasn't just about listing skills, it was about building a connection and showing how she could be a helpful part of their team. When you write your cover letter, always think about these questions. What problem does this job solve for the company? How can my skills and what I've done directly fix that problem? What are the most important words in the job description, and how can I use them naturally to show I'm a perfect match? By answering these questions carefully, your cover letter will become a strong tool, turning your application from just another paper into an exciting invitation for an interview. It's a very important part of writing job applications that can truly make the difference. Now that you know how to write a cover letter that speaks directly to what an employer needs, the next important step is to make sure your resume is just as strong and fits well. We will now look at how to build a winning resume, making sure it works perfectly with your cover letter to present a complete and very attractive application. 3. Using keywords effectively. Imagine you are a detective. The job ad is your crime scene. You are not just looking for any clues. You are looking for the exact words that show who the employer wants. These special words are called keywords. They are very important when you apply for jobs in countries where English is spoken. Think of it like this. When you apply for a job, your resume and cover letter are your first chance to make a good impression. You want to show clearly and quickly that you are the right person. Keywords help you do this. They are the words employers use to describe the skills, experience, and education they need. Most importantly, computers and people who hire look for these words to see if you are a good match. What are keywords and why are they important? So, what are these important keywords? They are simply the specific words and phrases found in a job description. They can be skills, like managing projects or helping customers. They can be tools or computer programs, like Microsoft Excel or Python. They can be qualifications, like a college degree or a certified accountant. They can even be action words that show what you do, like created, managed, or studied. Why are they so important? Today, many companies use a system called an applicant tracking system, or ATS. This is a computer program that reads many applications very fast. Its job is to sort them and find the best ones for the job. The ATS is set up to look for specific keywords. If your resume or cover letter does not have enough of the right keywords from the job description, the ATS might sadly reject your application. This means a human recruiter might never see it. It's like having a great story, but the person at the door doesn't understand the language it's written in. But it's not just about computers. Even when a person reads your application, keywords are still very important. Recruiters are often busy. They might have many applications to look at. They don't have much time to read every word carefully. Instead, they scan applications, looking for those keywords that quickly tell them if you have the skills and experience they need. Keywords are like bright signs that tell the recruiter, this person might be a good fit. They help the recruiter see quickly that you understand the job and have what it takes. This is a main part of what we call writing job applications well. It means understanding the rules for applying for jobs in English-speaking countries. It's not just about having the skills. It's about showing those skills in a way that employers expect and can easily understand. And keywords are a big part of that. Where to find your keywords now that we know what keywords are and why they are so important? The big question is, how do we find them? The answer is easier than you might think. The best place to find keywords is right in front of you, the job description. Think of the job description as the employer's direct instructions. It tells you exactly what they are looking for. So, the first and most important step is to read it very, very carefully. Don't just read it quickly. Read it word by word. As you read, use a highlighter or a pen to mark any words or phrases that seem important. What kind of words should you look for? Action words. These are words that describe what you will be doing in the job. Examples are manage, develop, analyze, coordinate, start, design, help, create, lead, and improve. Needed skills. These are the abilities you need to do the job. They can be technical skills like programming in Java, CO, financial planning, or soft skills like talking well, working in a team, solving problems, leading others, tools and software. If the job requires you to use specific programs or equipment, make sure to write those down. For example, Salesforce, Adobe Photoshop, Google Analytics, or big machines. Education and experience. This includes things like degrees, master's degree, PhD, certificates, PMP certificate, CPA, and how many years of experience are needed. 5+ years of experience. Industry words. Every industry has its own special language. For example, in marketing, you might see words like brand recognition, getting new customers, or creating content. In healthcare, you might see caring for patients, medical record systems, or testing new medicines. After you have marked these important words, make a list. This list is your personal keyword guide for that specific job. Besides the job description, you can also find good keywords by looking at the company's website. Visit their About Us or Careers pages. How do they describe themselves? What words do they use to talk about their goals, values, and how they work? This can give you ideas about the kinds of words they like and use themselves. Also, if you are applying in a specific field, looking at industry magazines or professional group websites can help you understand the common words used in that area. Let's imagine Maria is applying for a marketing coordinator job. She reads the job description and highlights social media management, content creation, campaign execution, email marketing, SEO, Google Analytics team, collaboration and reporting. She makes a list of these. Question 1. How can I find the most important keywords for a specific job I want? To find the most important keywords for a specific job, you need to read the job description very carefully. Start by reading it completely, as if you were trying to understand every single detail of the role. As you read, highlight or write down any words or phrases that describe the main tasks and duties. What will you actually be doing in this job? Look for action words and the tasks connected to them. The necessary skills and qualifications. What abilities, knowledge, or experience does the employer say are needed? This includes both technical skills like using specific software and soft skills like talking well or solving problems. Any specific tools, technologies, or systems? Are there particular programs, software, or equipment mentioned that you need to know? Industry-specific words or terms. Every field has its own language. If you see words that are unique to that industry, they are likely important keywords. Desired qualities. Sometimes employers mention things like takes initiative, pays attention to details, or gets results. These can also be keywords. After you have read the job description, look at your highlighted words and phrases. Think about which ones seem to be repeated or emphasized. These are often the most important keywords. Also, consider what the employer is trying to solve by hiring someone. What problems are they hoping this new person will fix? The keywords will often point to those solutions. For example, if they say they need someone to increase website visitors, then website visitors, SEO, and digital marketing are likely important keywords. The key is to be thorough and to think like the employer. What words would they use to describe the perfect candidate? How to use keywords smartly in your application. Finding keywords is only part of the job. The next, and perhaps most important, step is to use them well in your resume and cover letter. This is where writing job applications well really matters. You need to include these keywords naturally, so they make your application better, not sound like a robot wrote it. Adding keywords to your resume. Your resume is often the first document an ATS or recruiter will see. It needs to have keywords from the start. Summary or objective. At the top of your resume, you usually have a short summary or goal. This is a great place to include a few of your most important keywords. For example, instead of saying hardworking person looking for a marketing job, you could say, marketing coordinator who gets results. With 3 years of experience in social media management, content creation, and campaign execution. See how those highlighted words immediately tell the reader what you are good at. Skills section. This section is for showing your abilities. List your skills using the exact words found in the job description. If the job asks for Microsoft Excel, list Microsoft Excel, not just spreadsheets. If they mention project management, make sure project management is listed as a skill. This is a simple way to make sure the right keywords are there. Experience section. This is where you show how you have used your skills. For each of your past jobs, write bullet points describing your duties and what you achieved. This is where you can really stand out by including keywords in your accomplishments. Instead of saying, worked on social media posts, you could say, created and scheduled interesting social media content for Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, which led to a 15% increase in people liking our posts. You have used keywords like social media content and shown a good result. Adding keywords to your cover letter. Your cover letter is your chance to tell a story and connect with the employer in a more personal way. Keywords still play an important role here. Opening paragraph. Just like in your resume summary, use keywords in your opening to immediately show you understand the job and are a good fit. You might start with something like, I am writing to show my strong interest in the marketing coordinator position advertised on platform. With my proven experience in content creation and social media management, I am confident I have the skills to do well in this role. Body paragraphs. This is where you can talk more about your experience and directly answer the requirements in the job description. For each key requirement mentioned, try to explain how your past experiences meet it, using the right keywords. For example, if the job description emphasizes email marketing campaigns, you can write, in my previous job at previous company, I was responsible for planning and running email marketing campaigns that had an average open rate of 25% and a click-through rate of 5%. This shows you have the skill and can point to a measurable success. Closing paragraph. Briefly repeat your strongest qualifications, perhaps mentioning a key skill or two using relevant keywords, to leave a good final impression. Let's go back to Maria. After learning about keywords, she updates her resume. Before general. Managed social media accounts. Wrote content for posts. Helped with marketing campaigns. After with keywords. Managed social media platforms Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and created interesting content, leading to a 15% increase in people liking our posts. Helped with marketing campaigns, including email marketing efforts. Used Google Analytics to check campaign results and provide basic reports. Notice how that after version uses the keywords Maria found in the job description. It doesn't just say what she did, but uses the specific language the employer is looking for. Question 2. Can you give a clear example of how to change a general phrase into a sentence with keywords for a resume bullet point? Yes, absolutely. Let's take a common, somewhat general phrase and change it into a bullet point with keywords. General phrase. Helped customers with their problems. This doesn't tell us much. It's vague and doesn't use specific words that an employer might be searching for. Now, let's think about what kind of job this might be for. Let's say it's a customer service job and the job description mentioned customer support, finding solutions, solving problems, and making customers happy. 4. Professional job application standards. When you look for a new job, especially in a country where people speak English, you do more than just send papers. You show yourself to a person who might give you a job. How you do this is very important. Think of your resume and cover letter as your first hello and your first talk. They must be strong, clear, and kind. This is what we mean by professional job application standards. It's like a rule that is not written down. It shows you know how business works and that you respect the person who might hire you. Imagine you are meeting someone important for the first time. You would want to look nice, speak clearly, and be polite, right? You would not wear messy clothes or talk unclearly. Applying for a job is much the same. A professional application shows you took time and cared to look your best. It tells the person hiring, I am serious about this chance, and I know what it means to be professional. This is not just about making things look good. It is about sending a clear message about how you think and what you can do. Let's think about the people who read these applications. People who hire are often very busy. They might have many or even hundreds of applications for just one job. They do not have much time for each one. If your resume or cover letter is hard to read, has many mistakes, or is not put together well, they might just look at it quickly and move to the next one. Professional standards help make your application easy to look at and understand fast. Clear titles, the same space between words, and well-written sentences help them find what they need right away. This makes their job easier and makes you look like someone who is thoughtful and quick. One of the most important parts of being professional in job applications is being the same everywhere. This means your resume and your cover letter should look and feel like they come from the same person, with the same way of doing things. The way it looks should be similar. The letters used, the sizes, how you use bullet points. The way you speak should also be the same. If your resume is very formal, your cover letter should not suddenly become very casual, or the other way around. This sameness shows you are organized and can present information in a way that fits together. It is like a puzzle that is made well. All the pieces fit together perfectly. When everything matches, it creates a strong, unified idea of you as someone who could get the job. Professional standards go much further than just listing your old jobs and when you worked there. They mean you must think hard about the specific job you want and show how your skills and past experiences fit what the employer is looking for. It is not enough to just say you have good communication skills. A professional application shows how you used those skills and what happened because of them. For example, instead of just writing handled social media, a professional way would be made social media more popular by 25% in 6 months by creating and using a new way to share things. This kind of detail shows what you have done and that you know how your work makes a difference. It is about showing your worth, not just what you did. Now, you might ask, what are the most common mistakes people make that go against these professional standards? Well, there are a few big ones. Spelling and grammar mistakes are probably the most common problems. Even one mistake can make a person hiring think you are not careful or that you do not pay attention. Small things. This is sad, especially if you are otherwise a great person for the job. Another common problem is using the same resume and cover letter for every job. People hiring can tell when an application has not been made special for their needs. It shows you did not try hard or were not interested. Sometimes, people also use words that are too casual or slang, which is not good for a professional setting. And lastly, bad formatting, like text that is too small to read, space that is not the same, or long pieces of text with no breaks, can make an application hard to look at and get through. The effect of these mistakes is big. They can cause your application to be ignored, even if you have the perfect skills for the job. It is like trying to sell a beautiful thing in a dirty, messy shop. The thing might be great, but the way it is shown makes a bad first impression. So, how does following these professional standards help you directly? It is all about making that good first impression. When a person hiring sees an application that is well written, has no mistakes, and is made for them, it tells them many things. First, it shows you respect their time and the process of hiring. Second, it shows you are organized and careful, qualities that are useful in almost any job. Third, it shows you can talk clearly and well, which is an important skill for doing well at work. When your application is easy to read and understand, the person hiring can quickly see that you are a good fit for the job. This makes them more likely to ask you for an interview. It is not just about looking good. It is about making it easy for them to see what you can do and to believe you would be a good addition to their team. A professional application helps you move forward in the hiring process, while applications that are less professional might be put aside. Let's think about the things that must be in a professionally written resume and cover letter in English. On your resume, these are a clear and easy-to-read look, usually in order of time or by what you can do, correct contact information, a short summary or goal statement depending on how much experience you have, a detailed history of your work with clear job titles, company names, dates you worked there, and bullet points that describe what you did and what you achieved, and sections for your education and skills that are important. For your cover letter, the things that must be there are a proper business letter style with your contact information and the employer's contact information, a clear greeting saying the name of a specific person if you can, an introduction that says which job you want and where you saw it advertised, paragraphs that show your most important skills and experiences, connecting them to what the job needs, a paragraph that shows you understand the company and why you want to work there, and a professional ending that says again you are interested and suggests what to do next, like an interview. Both papers must not have spelling or grammar mistakes, and they should be made special for the job you want. Think about Sarah. Sarah was looking for a job in marketing. Her first few applications were very general. She had a resume that listed all her past jobs, but it did not really explain what she achieved in those jobs. Her cover letters were polite, but did not say anything specific about the company she was applying to. She sent out many applications but heard nothing back. She started to feel sad. Then Sarah met someone who helped with jobs. This person explained how important professional application standards are. The advisor told her, your resume is not just a list of jobs, it is a way to sell you. Your cover letter is not just a note. It is your chance to make a personal connection and show you did your research. Sarah decided to try a new way. For a job at a company called Greenleaf Marketing, she carefully read what they were looking for. She saw they wanted someone with experience in managing online campaigns and making social media popular. First, she changed her resume. Instead of just saying marketing assistant, she changed it to marketing assistant who has succeeded in online campaigns. She added bullet points like managed social media accounts, making people more interested by 30% by creating special posts and talking with people online, and helped create and run online advertising campaigns, which led to 15% more people visiting the website. She made sure the way it looked was clean and easy to read, with clear titles for each part. Next, she wrote a new cover letter. She started by saying the name of the person hiring, Mr. David Chen. She wrote, I am writing with great excitement to say I am interested in the digital marketing specialist job at Greenleaf Marketing, which I saw on LinkedIn. I have followed Greenleaf's new ideas for branding that is good for the earth for some time, and I am especially interested in your recent eco-friendly future campaign. She then went on to explain how her experience in managing online campaigns and making social media popular fit exactly what Greenleaf Marketing was looking for. She even mentioned something specific they did that she liked. She ended by saying, I am sure that my skills in online strategy and my strong desire for marketing that makes a difference fit perfectly with Greenleaf's goal. I have attached my resume for you to look at and would like the chance to talk about how I can help your team. The difference was amazing. In 1 week, Sarah got an invitation for an interview from Greenleaf Marketing. Mr. Shen said in the interview that he was impressed by how Sarah's resume clearly showed what she had done, and how her cover letter showed she truly understood Greenleaf's work and what they believed in. Sarah's application stood out because it followed professional standards and showed she was a thoughtful and ready candidate. This experience, before and after, taught Sarah that writing applications professionally is not just a rule, It is a powerful tool that can open doors. Understanding these professional standards is the base on which all other ways to find a job are built. It is the strong ground that makes sure your efforts are not wasted. Without this strong base, even the best skills might not be seen. Now that we understand the basic things expected when writing job applications professionally, we can start to look at the specific tools and ways that will not only meet these standards, but also help your application get noticed. The next important part of this process is understanding how to use the words that people hiring are looking for. Conclusion: you have finished our book, and that is great. You learned about keywords and cover letters. This means you are ready for jobs in countries where people speak English. In these places, your first chance to show who you are is with your written papers. You learned that just having skills is not enough. You must show these skills in a way that bosses and people who hire like. Our main goal was to give you the tools for writing job applications. This means making good resumes and cover letters that get you noticed. We said that learning these writing rules, especially using keywords well, is how you get good chances. We saw that keywords are very important. They are like signs that computers and people look for. You learned how to find them, use them in your writing, and make sure your papers sound like the job you want. Think of keywords as a map. They help your resume and cover letter get to the right people. Your resume is like a sign that shows what you can do. We showed how to make it clear and strong, showing what you have done, not just what you had to do. Remember to change your resume for each job. Show the skills and things you have done that fit the job. We said your resume should be a strong summary of why you are good for the job, with lots of keywords. Your cover letter is your hello. It is your chance to tell your story and show how what you know fits what the boss needs. We showed how to write more than just a normal letter. You can tell a story that shows you are excited, you know the company, and you are a good fit. This is where you can talk more about important keywords and show your feelings and excitement. Most importantly, we saw that your resume and cover letter work together. They make a strong message that shows you are a good choice and someone to remember. Using them together for writing job applications makes you stand out. Now you know how to find jobs in English-speaking places. The writing job applications rules we talked about are not just ideas. They are real tools you can use right away. You can change your papers from ones that are ignored to ones that help you get interviews. Remember, finding a job can take time. There will be hard parts, but with what you learned, you can get past them. Each application is a chance to get better. Keep learning. Being able to write good job papers is a skill for your whole life. These skills will help you in your next job and all the jobs after that. You learned how to show your value, and that is always needed. Now it is time to use what you know. Make your resume and cover letter. Look at the jobs you like. Start using the writing job applications rules we talked about. Your job search in English places is just starting. With keywords and good papers, you are ready to make your mark. Go and apply with confidence. Get the job you deserve. We wish you the best of luck.